in the history of our country.
Hey, this is the big opinion.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years, 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Hope I had a mic, wouldn't I?
Thank you. I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back.
Oh, yeah.
And the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
Man, I love it. Love it.
The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory.
I didn't think honestly, I would think he might lose. Yeah. Don't you just love how there were one side always claps?
Those are all Republicans.
Yeah.
Every single
one. Great.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Oh. Hear the other side.
You gotta love it.
You hear blues earlier, and then all of a sudden you see USA on the other side. Oh, this is already getting intense already.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525. On a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Yeah. Man, you gotta love it. I'm never gonna get tired of this guy. Best
now,
president
for the first time
ever.
in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
Wow. Usually a president usually don't really say all that stuff, in the Congress, but
no, they usually they don't get that far
Likewise,
into it.
small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded.
Mr. President.
A 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
My God.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
What did he say?
I guess people are booing or something? I'm not sure.
Did he told somebody to walk away or something?
I'm not sure.
Out of chamber? I don't know. Wow, that's all right.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
Oh! He's one of the
Finding that members
congressmen.
continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order.
Oh, God.
Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Oh!
So who got removed?
That Democrat congressman, I knew who he is because he was the one trying to threaten to impeach him a few weeks ago. Good. Leave the president alone, buddy.
Leave Brittany alone. Go
away, man. Seriously.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful
Man, he really has
land.
accomplished a lot in
The
just these
people
last,
elected
like, what,
me
2.5
to do
months?
the job, and I'm doing it.
6 weeks. Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many.
Possibly.
He's got a point.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
what
never seen
makes
so
it
many
even
executive
more
orders actually fix
impressive is
problems
that-
this fast in
You
my
know
life.
who
like
number
that.
2
Yeah.
is? George Washington. How about that?
More than George Washington.
I don't know about that list, but
More executive orders or
We'll
best
take it.
president since?
More
within hours
than
of
George
taking
Washington.
the oath of
in 1
office, I
month.
declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed
God.
the U.S.
Yeah.
military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country.
Good.
And what a job they've done.
They really
I
have.
mean, they did. Oh, yeah. It's all proof.
Nobody's coming over the border now.
By
They're like,
far
yeah, they were going to get arrested.
the
We're not doing
lowest
any of this.
ever
Yep.
recorded, ever.
Lowest ever recorded, he said. When it comes to border crossings, illegally. The lowest ever in 1 month. Ever in recorded history of the southern border, even many presidents before him.
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much
Yep.
easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history,
was.
there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and
Yeah.
insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that?
Yeah.
This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in
fifth.
front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations,
I was
or
literally saying that
announce the
today.
answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't
I literally
do
said.
it.
I literally said this
Five-
morning
five
that he
times
could
I've
cure
been up here.
cancer and people would still
It's
like
very
hate
sad,
him, and
And it just
that's just the
shouldn't
way it
be
is.
this way.
I don't get that, man. We want a president to be successful.
And you know, you don't want a guy to be saying that honestly, because he's basically saying, "Look, there's no point in like even bothering to pander to the Democrats or even trying to do anything that might help the other side. He doesn't care anymore. That's kind of
Yeah.
sad. You,
So
you wish
Democrats
you wouldn't
sitting
have to
before
say that,
me,
but
For
That's
just
where they
this
put 'em.
one
That's because
night,
Trump is not
why
playing
not
around
join
this
us
second
in
term.
celebrating
That's
so
true.
many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Yes.
America from here.
Yep. We want President Trump to be successful. That's why we voted for him.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it.
Oh, lost it.
This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's very.
That's right.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying.
Yeah.
I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
Good.
We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was weird. They invited everybody to the White House. This was back before Musk was like on Trump's side, long before. And they invite all the other car manufacturers to the White House. But Elon, the one guy making cars people actually want to buy.
For every one new regulation, 10
that's all you need to know
old
about
regulations must be eliminated. Just like I did in my very successful first term.
They just care about looking like they care.
Exactly.
You know, it's a whole lot better to pretend to be good than to actually be good.
And in that first term, we
Obama
set
has beach
records
houses?
on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like
Water's
no
gonna
other
rise.
president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
Yeah. Plain simple, man. Either come back to work or you get fired right on the spot.
And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good.
Oh. You see how the other Republicans are cheering? They did so much damage to our president, man. So much.
And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
Good. Good. The people need that.
And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
Yes. I've been waiting for that for so long. Decades.
I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
I like the idea, in my opinion, but, you know.
And likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mount McKinley.
Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
Good. No more woke bullcrap, that's for sure.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender.
Yep.
Very important.
I mean, really.
He's right. He's right.
You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Supreme Court's like just doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Like, these last few
We have
years,
removed the
protecting
poison of
freedom is
critical
like
race
they're the last
theory
line of
from our
defense.
public schools.
Yep.
And I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
You know, I always like, if you're trans, and you're trying to go from one gender to the next, if you don't believe genders exist, then aren't all those trans people just, stupid or something? I mean, think about it. I mean, what's the point if nothing exists?
Yeah,
Why are you doing any of
I
this work
also
and trying to
signed
be,
an
whatever?
executive order
Doesn't make any
to
sense to me.
ban men from playing in women's sports.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, it's just gotten out of hand.
It really
Trans
has.
men going to women's sports is just bad.
Yeah.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury,
Yeah, it was
partially
really bad.
paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was
Gosh.
a shot like she's never seen before.
I mean,
Peyton
I
is
never
here
understood.
tonight
You're
in the
trans,
gallery,
yet
and
you want to go
Peyton,
play
from now
sports some
on,
more.
schools will
And
kick
I mean, you
men
know
off
you're.
the girls'
I mean, come
team,
on, let's
or
be
they
honest.
will
You
lose
know you're going to be
all
stronger than
federal
everybody else. That's
funding.
kind of the whole point. What are you doing? Are you? I mean, honestly, I think that if they didn't cross that line, then I don't think the Republicans would have fought as hard against them, and they've just been like, "Oh, those are just some weird people. They do what they do. We don't really bother them." But since
Yeah.
they had to go and try to be sports stars in fields they shouldn't, now everyone on the Republican side is against them, and it's the crazy liberal, trans people that I
And
think
if you really want to see
kind of started
numbers,
this.
just
True,
take a look
yeah.
at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfair. I mean, golly. Men naturally are going to be generally taller, stronger, bigger. So most sports
What I have
kinda
just
value those
described
things,
is only a
so
small
it's not
fraction
fair.
of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen.
Yeah. Well, here's back what I was saying about what you're saying. Well, I mean, I know there's some
Among
girls
my
that are,
very
like, really tall,
highest
too, but
priorities
they're
is
actual
to rescue
real
our
women.
economy and get
And not all
dramatic
women
and
are
immediate
tall, but
relief
a good chunk
to
of
working
them in
families.
America are pretty tall
As you
women.
know,
Yeah,
we
but not as tall as
inherited from
not as
the
tall as
last
an average
administration
dude.
Yeah,
an economic
exactly.
catastrophe and an inflation nightmare.
Yeah.
Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans.
Oh,
It
the way he
had-
says
never had
millions.
anything like
Yeah.
it. We suffered the
100
worst
million.
inflation in
Sometimes
48
it does.
years,
Sometimes
but
it says
perhaps
millions
even
or billions.
in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Yes. Gas price needs to be back way down, and food
Yeah.
price needs to go down.
He's done a lot.
Just at least those two things, I'll be happy.
I've noticed gas prices haven't gone up. They haven't really gone down much
Joe
more than 10,
Biden
20 cents
especially
over
let
here.
the
It's like
price of
stale right
eggs
now.
get out of
This could be worse.
control. The egg price is out of control.
Oh, the egg price, of
And we're
course.
working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration.
To
Yeah.
be
job.
fair to the previous administration, I believe that I've seen some of the reasons for the egg prices going up, and I think it's mostly because of some type of like
A major
fluish
focus of our
disease,
fight
or
to
I forget the name of the
defeat
disease, but
inflation
it's some
is
type of
rapidly
disease that affects
reducing the
chickens, and
cost
they have
of
to basically
energy.
kill all the chickens
The
that
previous
come into
administration
contact
cut
with
the
it,
number
or
of new oil
Yeah.
and gas
So that's
leases
why
by
I think
95%.
You
but
might
it
be
is a
right.
federal
Pipeline
regulation as to how many
construction to a
chickens they
halt
have to
and
kill
close more
after
than
this disease is
100
found to be in
power
the herd.
plants. We are
Yeah.
opening
Or
up
flock,
many
I
of
guess, for
those
birds.
power
They call
So-
it bird
plants
flu
right
or
now.
something.
And it's not
like
bird
that.
flu, but something else.
Yeah. You might be right.
So
Yeah.
that's why it's not really Biden's fault to an extent. I mean,
Yeah.
but it is like I think the FDA that
And
regulates
frankly,
how
we
many
have
chickens have to be
never
killed, and if you,
Seen
maybe they could kill
anything
less.
like it. That's
I don't
why
know.
on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency.
Good.
As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far.
True.
And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
He said he mentioned oil instead of gold. I don't get it.
I mean, we have plenty of it.
Yeah.
The
Gold, of
Anwar
course,
region of
yeah.
Alaska has been open for debate for
My
the last 20
administration
years.
is also
Bush wanted
working
to
on
open
a
it up back when he was
gigantic
president, and that was a
natural
big
gas
thing.
pipeline
And
in
Talking
Alaska.
about Anwar.
yeah,
Among the
Anwar.
largest in the
Yeah,
world,
Reagan
where
tried it, but he
Japan,
couldn't do
South
it.
Korea,
Or
and
Congress
other
couldn't do
nations
it.
Yeah,
want
we
to
really
be
need
a
to-
partner with
We need to go and
investments
drill.
of
First term.
trillions
Yeah.
of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
Interesting. Minerals.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
True.
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, GOGE.
Good.
Perhaps you've heard of it.
Yep.
Perhaps.
Yep. Get rid of all that government waste crap.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery
Oh, there
tonight.
he is. There's the man right there.
The richest man
We're
in the
going
world.
back to the moon and going to Mars with that guy right there. Probably get back to the moon before Trump's done.
Hey,
Supposed to be done this year, but like that ain't happening.
not this year. Maybe next year or 2027.
It would be nice.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't want to
sure.
admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to
Burma.
improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
What is a sedentary migrant? What is it? A guy who
$8
stays
million
home,
to
moves here?
promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60
I love how he
million
just calls out.
for
No one
indigenous
cares about your
peoples
country. No one's heard of
and
you. What have you accomplished?
Colombian empowerment in Central
Oh, man.
America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
Yeah, sad thing is that isn't. None of these are surprising.
That's so bad.
$32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique.
Mozambique.
$20 million for
South
the
American
Arab
country?
Sesame Street in the
Or
I
Middle
think
East.
Mozambique is in
Program.
Africa.
Oh, my
$20 million
bad. Sorry.
for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
The worst governor ever.
A $3.5
No, she
million
wasn't governor, she was just a
consulting
candidate.
contract
Oh, she didn't
for
win?
lavish
No,
I thought she was
fish
governor before that, and she was running for
monitoring.
re-election.
She ran twice for
$1.5
governor.
$1.5 million
Lost.
for
Lost to the same
voter
guy, Governor
confidence
Brian Kemp,
in
That makes sense, I
Liberia.
guess.
our neighboring
$14
governor.
million for social cohesion in Mali.
You see, the reason they
$59
spend all this
million for
money
illegal
is
alien
because
hotel rooms
it's
in New
not
York City.
theirs. It's a whole lot easier to spend $1 billion when
Is
it's
it
not
real
your
estate
own
developers
money.
done very well.
Yeah.
I don't even spend
Why?
$100 on
$50,000
myself
to
because I'm
increase
terrified of it.
vegan
Yeah, if
local
I work for
climate
another
action
company, yeah, $100,
innovation.
that's fine. They can spend that.
This,
In
yeah, this
Zambia.
is why in my
$42
opinion,
million for
might
social
get some
and
hate for this,
behavior
but all I can
change
say
in
is
Uganda.
Democrats
$14
in
million
Congress
for improving
or
public
presidents,
procurement
whatever, all
in
they care
Serbia.
about is power. you know,
$47
for
million
themselves,
for
and not
improving
helping
learning
others.
outcomes.
Well, they care about
in
spending money.
Asia.
Of course, the Republicans aren't
Asia's
innocent
doing
Yeah,
of it
I mean,
either. They
money.
spend just as much, if not.
Yeah,
You know what
I
we're
know
doing
that too,
sometimes.
but they,
Use it
Democrats
ourselves.
believe in more
And
power of
$101
themselves
million
than
for DEI
Republicans do.
contracts at the Department
That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
of
maybe.
Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it.
Yeah,
We
he's got
found
some geniuses working
hundreds
for him.
of
They're all like
billions
20.
of dollars of fraud.
One of the guys on there was able to like use an AI program to decipher what was on a burned scroll from Pompeii.
Yeah.
Fascinating. And nobody else could do it, and he figured it out. It's amazing.
And
Yeah.
we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things.
Good.
Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time.
Still got a long
This
way to
is
go, but
just
we
the
can-
beginning.
We can do it.
The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation.
500
And we are
billion
working
$500
very hard
billion
to stop
in
it. We're
fraud.
going to.
That's just estimations.
We're also identifying shocking
trillion.
levels of incompetence and probable
Doesn't
fraud in
surprise me.
the
I work with federal
Social
contract
Security
stuff all the time.
program
Those guys are
for our seniors,
stupid.
Yeah.
and that our seniors and people that we love rely on.
Like I said, it's
Believe it or
laziness
not, government
and
databases
lack of
list
accountability.
4.7
Pocket money, who
million
cares?
Social
Make a
Security
mistake?
members
It's not my money.
from people aged 100 to 109 years old.
Oh. You mentioned that one. of the
It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly.
To be fair, I believe it's how the
3.47
system
million
records
people
dates,
From
and they
ages
don't always put the date in for the
120
birth.
to
And
129.
it's an old accounting software they use. And
3.9
it's,
million people.
that's why
from
it shows
ages
it. I don't think there's that much
130 to
fraud.
139.
there's probably a lot more than what we'd like, but not that much.
3.5 million people.
Yeah.
But it does
from
go to show
ages
you that they're using an
140
antiquated system that's been
to
needing to be upgraded for
149.
decades now.
And money
And
is
that's-
being paid to many of
You know,
them.
we're probably losing money just
and
by
we're
not upgrading that
searching
system.
right now.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
it's
Pam,
actual
good
work,
luck.
and people don't want to do that.
Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old.
Old people.
We have a healthier country than I
No
thought,
way somebody
Bobby.
lived that long.
That was a joke. We have a healthier country, though.
That
That's
would
pretty
have
good.
happened. We would have lived in biblical times, probably back in the day.
Yeah. Like I said,
Like-
I don't
like at least
think
in
I don't think
Genesis
all of
days.
those are actual like fraud. I think it's just bad accounting. And
Hey, there's a
Including,
cabinet.
yeah, look at
to
RFK up
finish,
there.
1,039
Junior, yeah.
people
Oh, you're
between the
junior.
ages of 220 and 229. One
doing a
person
great job,
between
by
the
the way.
age of
Got more
240 and
information. He's doing really well.
249.
I think he's a pretty good-
And
he's
one
gonna do a great
person
job. I
is
don't think he's gonna have
listed
any issues.
at
For health stuff,
360
for
years
food
of
and
age.
stuff. Oh, he's doing really good right now.
More than 100
I'll
years.
tell you later.
More than 100 years
Yeah, man.
older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
Yes.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it a lot.
Power, we the people, man. We people want our money, you know. Work our hard-earned money to invest, save, buy.
Who's the girl in the white dress?
And today, interest rates
She's the newly
took a
elected, well,
beautiful
not elected,
drop,
but she's the
big,
new
beautiful
senator
drop. It's about
that
time.
filled in Marco Rubio's spot.
And in the
okay.
near
for
future, I
US
want
Senate
to
floor that
do
Ron
what has not
DeSantis
been done
put her in.
in
Same,
24 years.
his daughter, Trump's daughter, didn't want
Balance
to do
the
it.
federal budget.
been kinda
She
cool.
backed off of this. It was her, but it was her choice, by the way. It wasn't somebody.
I mean, she's
telling her.
already in politics. Might as well jump in.
She works in Fox News now, so
That's probably more fun.
yeah.
It probably pays
I
better.
think she has her own show too in Fox News. I don't know what it's called, but you should check it out. So.
Yeah.
It's pretty
That's
good.
the tall one, right? Yeah.
The wife
With
of
that goal
Eric
in mind,
Trump.
we have
Yeah,
developed
something
in
like that.
great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For
I heard about
$5
that.
million, we will allow the most successful job-creating
Oh.
people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card,
$5 million
but
gold card. I don't
better
understand that.
and more
sometimes.
sophisticated.
I mean,
And
it seems
these people will
unfair,
have to pay
and it
tax in
kind
our
of
country.
is,
They won't have
because
to
you're
pay
buying
tax from where they
citizenship. He's
came.
basically saying, hey, spend
The
enough
money
money
that they've
and
made, you
you
wouldn't
can
wanna
be a
do that,
citizen
but
here.
they have to pay tax,
And you think,
create
well, this
jobs.
is, you know,
They'll
a
also be
bad
taking
Well, I don't
thing.
think
people out of
no
colleges
Mexican
and paying for
down there
them
would
so that
actually
we
have
can
enough-
keep
any-
them in
I
our
don't know
country.
about
instead
Oh
of
no, there's
having
there's
them being
there's
forced
Mexican
out.
billionaires and everything.
Number
It's-
one at the top
one of
school, as
one
an
of the richest
example,
people in the
being
world
forced
is
out
a
and
Mexican billionaire. I
not
think
being
he's in
allowed to stay
I think
telecommunications.
you're right.
create
But
tremendous numbers of
he's not.
jobs and
We're
great
not the only
success
country
for
that does that. There are many
a
countries
company
that
out there. So
will
we
basically
just asked
are pay
the
your way
criminals,
to be a
killers,
citizen. Hey, you buy
traffickers, and child
$250,000
We're
worth of
allowed
land
to
in our
enter
country.
our
We'll
country
make you a
under the
citizen.
open border
Or you open a
policy
business, or you
of
invest
these
this much
people,
money.
the
Yeah, you can be a citizen
Democrats,
if you
the
do that.
Biden administration,
So it's not unusual.
the open
A little
border,
unfair,
insane
perhaps,
policies
but
that
it is
you've
beneficial to
allowed
the country
to
to do.
destroy
So I-
our country.
You can't go wrong with
We
that.
will now
Become a
bring
citizen,
in
you have to pay
brilliant,
taxes.
hardworking,
So,
jobs
yeah,
creating
sure.
people.
Come on over.
They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce
Great.
our debt with that money.
See,
Redu-
that's
oh,
exactly
look,
what the
smart.
That's exactly what I just said.
Smart. Common sense. That's all we want from a president is common sense.
He's doing the things that need to be done.
America-
you know,
He's
they
a
may not all be.
businessman. That's why
None
we
of it's
voted
going to be
for
all
mandate for
100%
bold and
popular, but it's going to be 100%
profound
probably going to be good.
For nearly 100
Probably
years,
gonna be
the
100%.
federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages
Millions
of
and
regulations and
Yeah.
debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
That was Trump's big mistake in his first term. Was he trusted the bureaucracy that was in place?
Even his own first-term cabinet.
Well, yeah, he's like, oh, well, these people are in government. They've been doing it a long time. They must know what they're doing. He trusted them, and it was his
And
biggest
any
mistake, I
federal
think, of his presidency.
I think I
bureaucrat who
agree,
resists this
looking
change
back.
will be removed from office immediately.
I didn't catch it.
Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple.
Yeah.
I think he's
And
just
the
talking about
days
people
of
he's
rule
wants to
by
fire.
unelected bureaucrats are over.
Oh, yeah, he's right about that.
It's almost as if they're the shadow government, really, because
Secret shadow government, secret society, and all
I
that
mean,
stuff.
even when Trump became president, like some of the people that worked in the offices were like, well, we're just going to do everything we can to slow everything down. I think, what's his
And
name?
the next phase of our plan to deliver the
O'Keefe
greatest
Media Group.
economy
James
in
O'Keefe, I
history
think he
is
had a
for
special
this
on something like
Congress
that.
to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in
Yes,
there. They're
tax
waiting
cuts.
for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
yeah.
He's basically calling out the Democrats. That's great.
Oh, boy.
They're not gonna. They're
Trump is not
gonna
playing
have to
around,
come up with
dude.
a reason not to vote for tax cuts for everybody.
It's
It's easy to paint it as it's a tax cut for the rich.
Thank you.
Well, if it's a
a
tax
very,
cut
very big part
still
of our
for
plan.
everybody, then
We had
why
people
does
still
it say no?
success in our first
that's
term
the
was
only
a very
complaint
big
about what their
part of our
Democrats and their
plan. We're
bullies. They
seeking
think
permanent
it's
income
tax cuts for the
cuts all
wealthy
across the
billionaires and
board.
rich people.
And to get
There's a
urgently
lot
needed
more than
relief
that,
to
dude.
Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
Yep.
That always was weird to me that we taxed Social Security benefits because
I did not know about
it's
that
paid
part.
for by a tax and it's being given back to people, and then you pay taxes on it again.
Yeah.
And that made no sense to me.
And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
There you go.
That's not a bad idea.
Smart. Made in America.
That's an
Mexico or
easy
Canada.
that's an easy thing to do that will encourage people
And
to buy
by the way,
more
we're gonna
cars.
have growth
How
in
much
the auto
more?
industry
I don't
like
know.
nobody's
It's not a
ever
lot,
seen.
but
Plants
it'll
are
help.
opening up all over
Yeah.
the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it?
He loves
That,
his
along
tariffs.
with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Good. Good.
Now, should we be standing up and clapping each time?
And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country.
Yeah.
He's
Pretty
waiting. What,
much.
he's looking at the Democrats to boom or what?
I don't know.
In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did
Good.
before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country.
In this first term,
We
yeah.
had a great first term.
Yep.
Yeah, it really
Except
was
the
really
COVID
good.
problem, which is
Yeah, he handled COVID pretty badly, but
If you don't make your product in
Well, he
America,
handled
however, under the
the
Trump
first- the
administration,
initial, like,
you will pay
2
a
months of
tariff,
it,
He
yeah.
tried.
and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless
I
other
have heard of them.
nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was, and so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
That's not, just one day was cost us a lot of money.
I
But
love
we're
it.
going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth.
I mean,
whatever
it's only
they tax
fair.
us,
Yeah.
we will tax them.
Yeah.
If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China, and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
Good.
He's tired of all the countries freeloading off of us. Especially when we have a lot of poor people in this country and we can't afford
Yeah.
to feed them and
Much
we
has
can't
been
afford to give
said
them health care and we're
over the
paying
last
for
3
training
months
surgeries
about
halfway across the
Mexico
world.
and Canada.
Yeah.
But we have very
Our money
large
could be better spent
deficits
here.
with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer.
I mean, we shouldn't be subsidizing other countries in general.
Thanks to
I
our
can never
America
imagine
First
why
policies we're
it'd be a
putting
good idea.
into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of
That
the
is
election
true, to an extent.
Yeah.
and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their
Of
plants
course, they're all
here instead of in
announcements.
China.
Whether it's going to be actually here.
And just
remains to be
yesterday,
seen,
Taiwan
but
Yeah,
I hope he's
Semiconductor, the
right.
biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been needing to do that for a while. Taiwan makes most of the computer chips in the world.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been needing to do that here. We really should
And
be
we're
a
not giving
self-sufficient
them
country.
any money. Your CHIPS Act
True.
is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people, and they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
Yeah.
You ain't wrong.
Ain't wrong on that one.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer.
A lot of
Who will
farmers
now
love
be
you too,
selling
Trump.
into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies. They're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
Farmers, I will say, do get a lot of money from the federal government at subsidized farms and a lot of things.
And I
So
have
it's
also
not
imposed a 25% tariff
fair
on foreign
competition,
aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel, and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long.
Well, we should have our own
Yeah.
supplies.
Here today is a proud
Could you imagine if you
American
had to buy your
steelworker,
stuff from the enemy?
fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
Wow.
That's somebody doing God's work right there. Taking care of the orphans.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you, Jeff.
Hold on.
Thank you, Jeff. Stories
speech
like
is going
Jeff's
great.
remind us
So
that
far, so
tariffs
good.
are not just about protecting American
Unlike what
jobs.
happened the first 5
They're
minutes
about
of it,
protecting the
which
soul
wasn't his fault.
of our
Democrats just
country.
being so stupid.
Tariffs are about
So
making
childish.
America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh.
What did he say?
And look,
He-
look
I
where
don't know, he just
Biden
said
took
something.
us. Very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A
Foster
very
care.
loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
Oh yeah, I didn't think I saw her earlier.
I didn't
Was
see
I gonna pan over to her?
maybe the camera might show.
Yeah, there she is.
Those are First Lady.
You know, honestly, she doesn't look like she's aged.
She still looks great.
What is she,
She's-
like 55 or something?
She'll be 50. She'll be 55 next month.
Yeah.
Melania's
her
work
birthday.
has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John.
He's the U.S. Senator of South Dakota. He's also the Senate Majority Leader.
Oh, okay.
Took over Mitch McConnell.
Thank you
because
all
Mitch
very
McConnell's
much.
Got sort of dementia issues, and obviously Mitch McConnell announced he's not running for re-election.
Thank you.
So
And thank you
Kentucky-
to
the
John
people of
Thune and
Kentucky,
the Senate.
find a MAGA
Great
type
job
candidate in
to
Kentucky for the
criminalize
U.S. Senate
the
next year.
publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you.
Good.
And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers,
Yep.
gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities
Yep.
all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies,
Yep.
they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
I've seen
I saw
I've seen
proof- I saw
interviews
proof of it on
of
video.
people that were coming to America from South America and from Mexico and everything, and they were all saying that Biden basically said it's okay. At least that's what they thought.
And I want to
Officially,
thank Tom
Biden never
Homan
actually said that exactly.
and Christy. I want to
but
thank you and
that
Paul
was
of
kind of the
Border
implication.
Patrol. I want to thank
He was-
you. What a job they've
He was
all
giving
done.
praise to Tom
Everybody,
Homan.
Border
I see him a
Patrol,
lot on TV the past month.
The law enforcement in
he ain't
general is
playing.
incredible.
I saw
We
him
have to
take
take
action
care of
on
our law
video.
enforcement. Have to.
He does a good job. And our Secretary of Homeland Security, Chris Milne, is doing a
Last year,
fantastic job
excellent.
taking care of all that situation working with Tom Homan.
a
They're doing
brilliant
fantastic
22-year-old nursing student named Lakin Riley,
Oh, yeah.
the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Lakin was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and
Yeah.
horrifically murdered. Lakin was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien
Yep.
gang member
That guy was
who
released
was
from
arrested
prison
while
like 3
trespassing
times.
across
Yeah.
Biden's open southern border.
I'm like,
Yeah.
and
Then
he was
set
arrested for
loose
big
into
crimes.
the United
like,
States under the
it's
heartless
just-
stuff you
policies
stay
of
in
that
jail
failed
for a while, but he was like, oh, yeah,
administration.
just
It
let
was
him out.
indeed a failed administration.
Yeah.
He
That
had
was a
then
lot
been
of
bad, but thank
arrested
you,
and
but thank you,
released
President
in
Trump,
a
for signing that
Democrat-run
first bill
sanctuary
that you
city, a
signed when you
disaster,
came back into office,
before
first major
ending
bill.
the life of this beautiful
thanks
young
to
angel.
Congress too. to
Yeah.
get that
With us
done,
this evening
so.
are Lakin's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
Oh, the family.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I feel for him.
that's. I would give them all a hug. I mean, I know how it feels. It's just really sad. But
Yeah, it's terrible. And it really shouldn't have happened. The guy should have been in jail. And
Yeah.
why he wasn't is beyond me. He was arrested 3 times.
Last year, I
It's-
told Lakin's
it's so
grieving
sad.
parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very
Good.
strong, powerful act.
Good. That was why I called the Lakin Riley Act.
Yeah.
That Congress passed and the president signed into law. So good for you, President Trump, and thank you, Congress, for standing up for this.
I think a bunch of Democrats
It's
even
called
voted for
the
it. Maybe not all of them, but-
Lakin-Riley
six-
Act. So
six or
Allison
seven
and Lauren,
or
America
eight
will
Dem-
never,
Democrats
ever
said
forget
it.
our
I think
beautiful
50 or so in the
Lakin
House.
Hope
Yeah.
Riley.
Well, good. At least that's one thing that
At least something good came out of it, but golly, it should have never happened.
Yeah.
The system should have not let this happen, but it did anyway. And it's just
Yeah.
not right. That poor family.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And those Senate Democrats that voted for
Since
it.
taking
lot
office,
of them
my
are from the swing
administration has
states.
launched
Yeah,
the
it's not a
most
controversial
John
bill.
Fetterman voted for
immigration
it.
crackdown
Yeah.
in American
Pennsylvania,
history,
so.
and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers
Yeah, I already
ever
found proof of that
recorded.
too. Yeah.
Thank you.
In his first full month into office, I think it was about 7,000 or 8,000 illegal going across. Compare that to hundreds of thousands a month. Still, I like to see it zero. in
The
my
media and
Yeah,
our friends
right.
in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I mean, he's not playing around anymore. He's given up on the
Because he's got
Democrats
nothing to
ever
lose
liking
anymore.
him.
Because he can't run anymore, you know.
He
so-
knows, and he's
And they say- you don't see that in Congress. They say Trump, Trump, Trump.
Thank
he's probably the most popular president. Like,
Joe Biden didn't
had in a
just
long
open
time. In
our
my
borders.
lifetime,
He
at
flew
least.
illegal aliens
I think only
over
Obama
them
rivals him
to
in
overwhelm
popularity, at least for the
Probably, yeah.
Democrats.
hospitals and communities throughout the country.
In 2008, Obama was
Entire
basically
towns
Trump,
like
which
Aurora,
is funny.
Colorado, and
But
Springfield,
totally
Ohio
opposite.
buckled
I don't know. You
under
asked
the weight
Obama
of
in
the migrant
2008 the same
occupation and
questions.
corruption
Yeah.
like
Say the
nobody's
same
ever
things.
seen before.
Yeah.
Beautiful
But he
towns
didn't keep those
destroyed.
promises.
He never kept those
Now,
promises.
just
but
as I promised in
did.
my
Trump did.
inaugural address,
but
we are
least
achieving
most of them.
the
I guess
Great
you. What is it? The quote
liberation
from
of America.
Dark Knight? You live long enough. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
It's kind of Obama.
Yeah.
But there still is much work to be done. Here
course.
tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungary from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered.
Oh my
Arrested and
gosh.
charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters
Oh,
from
of course.
Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and earlier tonight I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Oh, he's going to rename the wildlife refuge, I guess, after the little girl.
Oh, okay, that's nice. But wow, usually a president never did that in Congress for a joint session speech. Not even a traditional president, you know, no matter what political party. Wow.
Thank you very much. All three savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
Yeah.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy.
Probably, I guess, in Texas, isn't it?
I'd assume so.
Yeah. Good job, buddy.
In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande, near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
Good. They all do a pretty good job.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they as long as they have backup and the government has their back, I think they really do the best they can.
Thank you, Roberto.
It's hard to do it when the government cuts your resources down.
And I actually got to know him
So
on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
John, would you think that it would be easy to get a gun in Mexico or hard to buy a gun in Mexico?
I don't know too much about Mexico's laws.
5
You
nights
got me
ago,
there. I don't know.
There's only one legal
authorities,
gun store in the
because of
whole
our
country.
tariff
Guns are basically
policies
banned.
being imposed
Yet
on them,
people always seem to
Look at
find them in
this.
Mexico.
handed over to us
I think it just goes to show you that
29 of the
no amount of
biggest
law is ever
cartel
going to stop that
leaders
kind of
in their
stuff.
country. That has
Oh,
never
okay.
happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it.
That's
I have
good.
sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate
true.
man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans
true. Eisenhower
expect
did deport
Congress
a
to
lot of
send
people
me
back in the
this funding
1950s.
without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it.
Pray. Pray. No politician's perfect, but pray they keep their word, Well, Congress at least.
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns.
Yep. Plain and simple. Yep. Law and order. Especially for our police,
In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics.
Oh!
He points to the
Many
Democrats.
jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi,
Dan Bondi, our Attorney General, and Cash
Good
Patel, our
luck.
Director
So
of the
important.
FBI.
going to do a great job.
Still waiting on those
Cash, thank you.
SD lists.
Yeah, so do I.
Thank you, Cash.
Trying to be patient,
I'm not
But
getting
they're
my,
working really hard.
I'm
trying
not
to get
getting
them
my
out.
hopes up.
Huh?
I'm not getting my hopes up.
You're not getting your hopes up?
I don't think it's not. I
They've
don't think
already
it's them.
started
I just
very
think
strong. They're going to do a fantastic
that kind of
job. You're gonna
stuff's
be
probably
very
been
proud of
shredded
them.
and burned by now. Long
We're also
before
once
Trump
again
came
giving
into
our
office.
police
Well,
officers the
shredded and burned
support,
years
protection,
ago.
and
There's nothing
respect
to show.
they so
What if they can find through the computer
dearly
system?
deserve. They have to get it. They have such
probably
a hard,
have to give
dangerous
Doge
job. But we're
access
going
to
to make
the
it less
FBI
dangerous.
servers, and I don't even think
The
Cash is
problem
going to
is
let
the
them do
bad
that.
guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect
Yeah.
it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them.
I think it'll happen.
And besides
Not
that,
right
they
now.
voted for me in
I would
record
ha- I
numbers,
say-
so I
say
have
it'll
no
happen
choice.
sometime in his second term, probably.
What?
Releasing the Epstein
Well, he's already
files.
supposed to have them done. He said like a few days ago they're supposed to come out, but they never did.
Yeah.
1 year ago this month,
Well, they did. They just didn't release anything
31-year-old
new.
New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot
Dang.
of them.
Yeah.
I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Awfully young to be a widow.
Yeah. Looks like in the 30s, I think. Maybe late 20s.
Shouldn't have to deal with that.
Stephanie, we're going to
poor
make
thing.
sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest. And we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
Wow.
Maybe that'll get people to stop. Most of them are just trying to do their jobs.
Yeah. Don't mess with our police.
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed.
I mean, they get paid next to nothing to put their life on the line, so yeah, it'd be nice if the government kind of had their
Joining
back a
us
little
in the
bit.
gallery tonight is a
Yeah.
young man who
Or pay
truly
them a
loves
lot
our
more.
police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
Oh, he's got a little
there you-
suit and on everything.
There you go. Looks like his dad's like wearing a American shirt or a Texas shirt. Looks like. Oh yeah, they're from Texas.
The kid's 13?
Yeah.
You got a mustache? Dang.
No,
Yeah.
I don't see
Aw.
a mustache. Yeah.
He's like, Dad, stop picking me up. I'm tall enough.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, they're from Texas. Wow.
But in
Don't worry, kid. You got,
2018,
like, 8 more
DJ
years
was
to
diagnosed
keep
with brain
growing.
cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Hey, that's a miracle right there. Praise
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, man, here we go. That's that tall guy that helped protect Trump.
Wow. Oh, from last year?
Yeah,
From Butler, Pennsylvania?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Oh, look, he's got a little badge and everything. That's
Is
cute.
it really like real, or is it just...
No, that's not. That could. I mean, it's an honorary thing, so they're like,
Okay.
you're an honorary member.
Usually Secret Service guys like in the willing to give hugs. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, they're people just like us.
Yeah. Because they always act so serious and tough, you know, but...
Kid's probably that kid's living the dream right there. I kind of want an honorary badge to the Secret
Thank you,
Service. That'd be kind of
DJ.
awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%.
Man.
Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr.
Yeah.
God bless you, Robert.
Yeah, I think he's going to do a great job.
Yeah. For the health department and foods and stuff, and get rid of chronic stuff. Yeah, he'll do fine.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000. And now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong. 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby? Good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
I feel like it's sad that Kennedy literally this time last year was a favorite of the Democrats. Like,
sort of.
He
yeah.
was. I mean, he had a lot of
My
support
administration is also
on that
working
other
to
side
protect
over there.
our children from toxic
And-
ideologies in our schools.
Well, they
A few
didn't really
years
want him to
ago,
run against Biden,
January,
which they should have.
Little John
If Kennedy
and her
ended
husband
up
discovered that
winning
their
the
daughter's school had
primary, if they would have
secretly
let him actually
socially
have a chance,
transitioned
It would have been a much closer
13-year-old
race.
he might have
little
beat
girl.
Trump in the election.
Teachers
Possibly.
and administrators
But
conspired to
Instead,
deceive
they
January
kicked him
and her
off to the
husband
curb, like they kicked
while
off Tulsi
encouraging their
Gabbard to the
daughter to
curb, and
use
everybody
their
else.
name
And Trump's like, well, we
and
may not agree on
pronouns.
everything, but I'm sure there's something we can work together
them
on.
pronoun,
Yeah.
actually.
He's
All
desperate
without
for
telling
just everybody to
January,
love him.
who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I wasn't listening either. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology.
Yes.
Why are you talking to kids about that stuff anyway? I mean, really?
Yeah. They're innocent kids.
And they don't need none of that.
Yeah.
I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
Yeah. Good. Good.
And now I want
Vice
Congress to
President
pass a
tall
bill
is he?
permanently banning
He's 6
and
foot, I think, at
criminalizing
least.
sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body.
Oh yeah.
This is a
Good,
big lie.
good job, Trump. Yeah.
Why are you talking to kids like about
Yeah,
stuff like
And
that?
our
I mean,
message
really.
if you're like
To every
18
child
and
in
up, you can do
America
what
is
you
that
want, but
you are
it's still bad,
perfect
it's wrong,
exactly the way God made you.
but- Yes. Yes. God created only male and female. God created who you want to be. God created who God created you to be.
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out,
Yep.
and it's
Yep.
out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble.
Yeah.
Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't
Mm-hmm.
we feel better?
Yep.
Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said, good job.
And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you.
I don't think he is.
I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What
Wow.
a difference.
15 years. That's
I
when
know. One of
graduated high school.
one of our friends. Not going to say his name, but he just joined up.
And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit.
No one wants to
Now
go
we're
fight for
having
Biden.
The best
Yeah.
results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. people love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country, and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing, and thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
Yep.
We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a six-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Smart. There you go.
He's already got the military haircut. He's ready to go.
Yeah, there you go. Did you say West Point?
Yeah, West Point.
West Point is one of the most popular military schools in America. It's been around even before the Civil War. Even Ulysses S. Grant, before he became the greatest general and president, he served.
And
he went to West
Jason,
Point.
that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But
Oh, yeah.
I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
Nice.
Good job,
It
man.
always helps when you know a guy to get in.
Good job,
And I think
man.
Trump could probably get you in.
Yeah, because after all, he is commander-in-chief.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Even the military's clapping, yeah. Or Joint Chief of Staff, yeah.
Yeah, some of them are smiling and some of them are like, yeah. I
Yeah.
hope Trump doesn't fire me.
Yeah.
A lot of those generals probably need to be fired, though.
Yeah, the ones, like what
Thank
Trump
you.
said, the ones that you don't see on
Jason,
TV
you're going
are
to be on the
real
long
generals.
gray line, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
Wow.
You mean Star Wars? That's the same thing, right?
Well, no, it's. I think he's not joking on this time.
I said Star Wars, but no, I mean Star
Ronald
Wars thing
Reagan
from Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I know.
Wanted
but
to do it long
this was a
ago,
Golden
but the
Dome, though.
technology
Same
just
thing.
wasn't
was
there,
just a
not even
made-up
close.
thing,
But
but I
now
think
we have
Trump
the
is not playing
technology.
around.
The
that's
Golden
incredible,
Dome, the
actually.
Star Wars was a missile
And other
defense
places
system.
have-
That's all it
they
was.
have it.
It was
Israel
overly
It's all made
elaborate.
up.
Places
It was made
have
up
it,
to an
and the
extent, but it
United
was an
States
actual
should have
idea.
it too,
Oh.
right?
I thought
Tim,
we already
right?
had something like that.
They
I
should
guess
have
not.
it too. So I want to
Or I
thank you,
can't-
but it's a
I
very,
don't know the whole
very
story,
important.
but-
This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding.
Oh, like building.
Yeah, I
military,
was thinking
big-
about that
big
not
boats
long
and
ago. We
stuff,
really need to start
And for that
building more
purpose,
ships
I am
here in
announcing
America.
tonight
especially for the Navy.
that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have
The
a
Navy's
huge
happy.
impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it.
Good.
Carter should have never gave it away.
Yeah. But Teddy Roosevelt did a lot of success.
Just
in that.
today, a large American company
7.5 year
announced
term.
they are buying both
2 terms,
ports
that's-
around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at
Since the days of
tremendous
Teddy
cost of
Roosevelt.
American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1. But that
$1.
agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Good. Well, it should be.
Honestly, I mean, we should take it back. I would invade and just take
Teddy
it.
Roosevelt started this whole idea.
I mean, everybody hates America
And
already.
we have
What's the
Marco
difference? I'll take
Rubio
it.
Yeah.
in charge. Good luck, Marco.
Marco
Yeah, no
Rubio.
pressure.
Now,
Great secretary
we know
of
who to
State.
blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job.
He will.
Think of it. He got 100 votes.
Or 99, actually.
You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes.
Oh, that's
And I'm
why
either
it was
very, very
99.
happy about that, or I'm very concerned about it.
Because he became vice president.
But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for
Because
Marco.
the one that didn't
He's going to do a
came in
fantastic
was,
job. Thank you. Thank you.
The filling seat.
He's
for
doing a
Ohio
great
seat
job.
for US Senate, that's why.
Great
He's doing
job.
a great job, Secretary of State.
And I
Wasn't he
also
Secretary
have
of
a
State last time,
message
too?
tonight for
No,
the
he was still- he
incredible
was a
people
senator.
of Greenland.
Greenland.
We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security, and I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will
Population's
keep
only
you
like
safe.
50,000.
We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land, and very,
About
very
50,000
important
people,
for
Yeah.
live in Greenland.
military
It's a very
security.
big
America
country.
is once again standing strong
Technically
against
part of
the
Denmark.
forces of
Yeah.
radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Man.
Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Good. Good.
I think I'll call it in about 2 minutes and head in.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have all night.
Okay. 1 more minute. All right.
About 2 more minutes. I'm just,
Oh, 2 more minutes.
yeah. Much as I'd like to stay and watch the rest.
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster.
Good.
This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown.
Yeah, Biden's
That when
plan was terrible.
Putin saw what
Yeah.
happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
Yeah. In the COVID year, 2020, yeah.
One of his best things he's ever done.
Yeah.
Well, John, I'm going to have to call it for the night. It's getting a
Okay.
little late. Unfortunately, I can't watch the whole thing.
No worries.
That was awesome.
Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, thank you. Where can
And
they
now
find
we're
you, John?
going to build on
Find me
that
at Mr.
foundation to
President
create a more
1860.
peaceful and prosperous
Pretty
future
awesome.
for the entire
Have a blessed
region.
night,
A lot of
everybody.